What's shaking its bacon, and wishes really do come true. First, let me address this. Gjallarhorn is in the tower. Xur has Gjallarhorn. If you do not have it, you need to get it. If you do not have the strange coins to get it for whatever reason, you need to grind that out and get yourself some Galley. And yes, I know that's many people's wishes, but in this video, we're going to focus on my wish that was sort of granted. So I made a video about me wanting to see the new Crucible maps and expansions. And Bungie didn't do it this time. Game Informer actually came through. Game Informer hooked us up with some little clips. It wasn't that in-depth feature-length footage that I wanted, but hell, it's something and beggars cannot be choosers. So we got to see a ton of maps and they all just look mind-blowing. I can't even. They just look so beautiful. So we're going to talk about each of them a little bit here and there. And also, they showed off the supers for the Hunter. They only used Hunters, the Night Stalker, and I am more in love with this class than ever before. I cannot contain myself how happy I am to see a Hunter zipping around like, oh my gosh, it's too much. And they also showed a bunch of weapons, legendary weapons, and the exotics. Some familiar and some new. So we'll talk about that as well. Alright, so the first map we get to see is called Bannerfall, and it takes place in the tower. And so we see new monarchy symbols and stuff like that, but the name implies that there was another faction. Bungie states that there was a fourth faction that fell. And you can see their flags torn and ripped up, still waving today. Which is so damn cool. Like, it has a lore factor to it. Oh my gosh. It just sounds so epic. I wanted to see it. I checked the gameplay footage multiple times over. Didn't get to see the flag, but I guess we will in due time. Two things to be noted in this gameplay is one, we get to see a new legendary hand cannon. And two, oh my gosh, Night Stalker has like a shadow sneak thing where you can just turn on people. Oh my gosh, oh dear, they can't do this to me. They really can't do this to me. The next map we see is located on Earth, and it's called Frontier. And this map is related to another map. It's seemingly connected to Twilight Gap. And this map seems to be very interesting because it's said to be sort of symmetrical on both sides, not perfectly symmetrical, of course, but then there is a sort of bridge that holds a train track, which is basically the center of combat. And it has some good sniper spots, and it just seems to be like mixed combat. It's not tailored towards close quarters combat. You can kind of run it how you want to. It reminds me of a Call of Duty map. I'm not sure which map it was. It might have been in Ghosts. I can't really put my finger on it. Oh yeah, it was called Containment. It was in the first Ghost DLC. And just hearing about this map reminds me of Containment. And there are a couple of things to note in this gameplay. So we see a legendary rocket launcher that doesn't really put in that much work. We see a sniper rifle that I'm going to assume is legendary that doesn't put in much work. And then we see the Hunter once again use its new super and suppress a dude in Arcblade, which was Beast. And then this dude pulls out a weapon that looks like an AK. And oh my gosh, tears are about to roll down my face watching this gameplay because that weapon looks so sick. It's not a copy and paste weapon, it looks so beautiful. And now that auto rifles are getting rebalanced, it seems like we're getting a nice little focus towards them, bringing us beautiful weapons like this. And I couldn't have asked for more. That's amazing, and I'm happy. And one last thing is, the dude still had his super when he pulled out his gun. So you essentially have your super. It's gonna be on once you activate it, but it has to run down. And I'm going to assume that there is gonna be some type of exotic to make that effect last longer, something along those lines. Because when you make a super like this, you kind of want to make it last a little bit longer. So I'd expect Bungie to do something like that. And if there is something like that, you can expect me to want to use it because this super looks beast. The next map is called CrossRoads, and it is taking place on Mars. And you kind of see some overgrown structures, and that's because the traveler had arrived and made the vegetation grow and such. And it is one of the 2 maps to feature teleportation. There are teleporting portals that you can go through, and they'll put you on to a new area. And they say they consider this map to be kind of like 2 maps because there is one big structure in the middle, and then there are multiple islands floating around it, and the teleporters can be used as catapults to send you to wherever you want to go. And this is apparently the perfect map for Mayhem, which, if you don't know what Mayhem is, it's a game mode where everything is freaking crazy. Supers recharge real fast, and your grenades recharge in about like 5 seconds. So these teleporters are great because they're escape ways. I am going to be using this hunter and just suppressing the hell out of people. Regular rules do not apply. Your guns, your heavy, blah, 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 doesn't really matter when it comes to supers. I'm scared of Titans. I'm terrified of Titans, and I do not want to see them in this game mode. I'm sorry. Besides that, the only thing I'd say is worth noting is that pretty heavy weapon. That rocket launcher looks sexy. It looks like a transformer. Next, we have Sector 618. Yeah, they keep screwing my boy Rey Mysterio over, but whatever. This map is the new PlayStation exclusive, and I wouldn't say I'm really happy to have it as my exclusive. It's not that it's bad or anything like that, but they say there's going to be a lot of falling, and I am prone to falling a lot when I use different classes besides the Hunter. Now, they wanted to make sure that Guardians have different ways of getting around. They wanted us to make our own routes by jumping from place to place, and it sounds pretty cool. And there are some things to be noted in this gameplay. So when you kill someone, you see the name of who you killed. Now, that's cool and all. That's nice. I like to see more things because it makes me hyped up. The more words I see pop up when I kill someone, the better I feel. And you can also feel good knowing that you're constantly killing the same person. Also, this is what I'm scared of. You're told who you assisted, and the person who assists or whatever, they probably see the same thing. And I don't like that. Why? Because Vin calls me out for stealing his kills a lot. And now that it says that, oh dear, he's not gonna like it. Oh, it's actually gonna give me like, I'm gonna have a mug shot by the end of these games. It's gonna be terrible. But yeah, we saw a future War Cult pulse rifle that didn't look all that pretty, but really fast the dude switches to his I think shotgun that kind of looked like a shark tooth. It looked like some Hive shit, so I'd assume that it's some new Hive shit from Oryx. But he switched so fast you could only see like the top of it. You could only graze over. But tell me what you think of that. Up next we have Ghost Ship, the smallest map in the Taken King DLC. And it seems to be really nice aesthetically. So it's a symmetrical map, but on one side there is going to be debris and such, which is just because of the Hive. And this was originally a fallen ship, and this is the only map that's in the reef. And once someone dies, there's kind of like a low gravity effect. So when they die, their bodies will float around, and that just sounds epic. Like it sounds like you're crafting the map by playing on it. You're adding to the aesthetic value by dying. So thank you for your death, Honorable Guardian. In the gameplay, you'll notice a nifty looking shotgun that has some range to it. And I like the reload animation or the pump animation, whatever it is. And another pretty ass scout rifle. I love scout rifles, and this weapon looks sexy. Next we have Exile, one of Oryx's Hive prison ships, which seems pretty cool. It's a very narrow and long map, so I'd think that sniping would be nice on it. But they also say there's some verticality to it, so there's levels to this shit. and it's kind of like a bit of a maze in some aspects because there are rooms that have different things and whatever. There's a crystalline one. You could look out the window and see other planets in one. It's just a pretty cool map. And I'm sorry, I wasn't quite able to focus on the map itself in the gameplay, because the Jade Rabbit, that PlayStation exclusive scout rifle, was too beautiful. I cannot wait to get my hands on that weapon. It better not taunt me like the other PlayStation exclusive Hawk Moon. I need this weapon. I love scout rifles, and it seems like with the Night Stalker class, I'm going to be playing with scout rifles. Next we have Memento, another European Dead Zone map like Widow's Court. But unlike Widow's Court, this map, it's more so a medium-sized map, so it can be for, say, Clash and Control, but also for smaller game modes. And it seems to be a very cheeky map. There's a lot of elevations. Like Widow's Court had that one elevation that was above everything else. It was like the balcony where you could see the world. But in this, there's going to be a bunch of elevations, so there's a lot of spots for people to just pick others off. And it's kind of like a triangular shape, and at its core, it's angled down and prevents sight line blocking, they say. The gameplay didn't have much of anything we haven't seen thus far, but it was quite interesting to me to see that scout rifle in action once again. It seems like a beast. And the player who is using it, the hunter, had these gauntlets on, and it seems to be like some hive thing or whatever, so I'd assume it's something related to the raid or maybe the dreadnought, or maybe it's just some new gear. But he has claws and it looks so cool. I can't take this much. It just looks so cool, man. And lastly, we have Vertigo. It is a Vex structure that is high in the sky above Mercury, but the Cabal kind of invaded it and explored or whatever, but then they mysteriously disappeared. And they, kind of had their own architecture on it as well. So you see remnants of the Cabal and remnants of the Vex, and it seems to be a pretty cool aesthetic map to see the two kind of collaborate in a way. And there is a one-way teleporter that will just catapult you into the middle of the map. Yes, this is the second map to feature teleportation, and will catapult you onto the other side of the map. And they say this will make for some interesting gameplay things, and I think so too. I mean, if people are spawning or happen to be on the other side of the map a lot, they're just collaborating over there. What if I just teleported with my super? Like, could I teleport in the time that animation is going and just like Titan Slam everyone? Or maybe I'll just go in with my new bow and just take the entire team down. It sounds to be like a lot of fun. And I think that's what comes with teleportation. Teleportation just sounds like a fun thing to do, don't you think? And nothing really stellar in this gameplay. We didn't really get to see anything special. We saw Necrojasm again, but that's about it. And this isn't the last we're going to see of this map Vertigo. They're actually going to sit down later in the month and have a conversation with the Crucible devs, and we'll see more of Vertigo. So that sounds to be like a fun time. So I look forward to that, and I will be covering it when it happens. Whatever is said, I'll cover it. And I thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think about these maps, the weapons, whatever I said. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you in the next one.